So we're back again with Receptive Radio, your tuning station, August 6th. And have you ever asked someone for advice and when they responded to you and you thought you were getting an answer, they're actually reflecting back to you what you already know? This happens to me often when I'm meeting with my coaches or connecting with other people that I'm interested in their opinion. And it happened yesterday again, and it happened when I was actually calling into Mike Ashabraner's hotline, where I phoned in, and it was on YouTube, and I will share the link in the show notes afterwards so that you can go and check out how he guided me through some of my questions. And my questions were about networking, but actually the answers I received were deeper than that, and they went deeper, and they were really reflecting what I already knew. And it's all about trusting yourself, knowing yourself, being yourself. I've been really focusing on that a lot. A couple episodes ago, I alluded to bringing you an episode about being yourself. And so here it is about being yourself and trusting yourself. And as entrepreneurs, there is no like business school to become an entrepreneur. There is no education system that you grow up in school and take to learn how to become an entrepreneur. You're learning it through your experiences. You're learning it through mistakes, and you're learning it on the fly, like while you're in the journey of being an entrepreneur. And that's one of the best things about being an entrepreneur is you get to grow. There is continuous growth being an entrepreneur, and it affects every part of you: your mind, your heart, your body, your energy, your pocketbook, your lifestyle, your freedom, and the impact that you can make in the world. And I think that's why most of us choose to be entrepreneurs, is because we want to have the choice, we want to decide, we want to be our own bosses. And we do it because we want to have some more fun as well. We want to be able to decide when we work, how long we work, and who we serve. That's why I do it. And sometimes we find ourselves going overboard, getting overwhelmed with lots of strategies, funnels, learning new things, getting certified in order to create more business for ourselves. And one of the things that I've come to discover this week that I'm going to share with you is sometimes it's about finishing and completing what you already have started. And where in your business have you been looking outside yourself for the answers that you might already know? You're just looking for some confirmation. You're looking for some validation. So if you're watching this live, put a hashtag live in the comments and maybe fill out a little bit about that question. Where in your business are you looking outside yourself for answers or guidance? And if you're watching the replay, put a hashtag replay. The comments really support me being able to reach more people and getting discussion going on these topics and building interest in yourself as well, and what it means to be an entrepreneur, what it's like being an entrepreneur. Sometimes it's like an island and you're wondering if anyone else is feeling or experiencing what you're going through. And guess what? You are. I'm sure some of you are looking outside yourself for some guidance and answers, but the answers are inside of you. You just want to know like that you're not alone. You're not alone. And it's not about not asking for support. Support is essential. And I definitely have coaches and mentors and guides, but I have lately decided to do a lot more networking than I've ever done in the past, because I believe relationships and building relationships is entrepreneurship. It is the business of the future. And without it, we don't have a business. Customers are people, and they have, lives that they want to share and grow and make better. And lots of entrepreneurs provide services that help people grow, realize who they are, be better than they've ever imagined. And that's the type of business I run. So sometimes when we're in the entrepreneur seat and we're not getting the results we want, we start doing a lot of things that we think will lead to results. And you can become overwhelmed. Often I have become overwhelmed by implementing new things, many new things and new strategies all at once. And, a few years ago, I started doing that, implementing big projects all at the same time. And so they have taken a little bit longer and to get done, because there's always the priority of building and enrolling customers or clients first and building the business. One of those projects is a book, and another of those projects is networking, and another project is building a retreat space, and another project is serving through a practice studio. And so we can become overwhelmed with all the projects that we want to build. Who here has become overwhelmed with all of the projects that you are working on in your business as an entrepreneur? And that's exactly why I called in to the hotline yesterday, because networking for me is essential. I want to grow relationships, not just for my business, but in general. I love people. People who are who I serve. People give us adventure. They give us excitement. They reflect back who we are. And without people, there is no business. There is no business. And you can think AI is going to solve all of our problems. Actually, it's going to make more space for us to have better relationships and to connect more and communicate more with people. So we have to be good at it. We have to be practicing it regularly to be seen, to be visible, to be recognized for how you serve. And so when I called into Mike's show last night, the Hounds of Business hotline, I was asking questions about networking, how to grow my networking in an organic way and develop the relationships that lead somewhere, that lead to collaborations, that lead to clients, that lead to growth for me. And instead, we didn't really discuss that. He said, you are networking, you are showing up, you are being yourself. And that's what he's noticing. And I really needed to hear that. I needed to hear that I am being myself and people are feeling me being myself, not like a figurehead of my business. No, I am the business, and they're noticing my energy, my heart, and my commitment to listening and to getting to know them. And so that was really the feedback I needed to hear. I needed to hear that I was, being seen in the networking rooms, because I've been in a lot of networking rooms and some of them don't match with me, but I've found a few right now that are very aligned and very much fostering and encouraging me and the other people in the groups to be ourselves and not to be proving ourselves or to be pitching and selling, just to be ourselves and to get to know each other that way. And that's really relaxing and heart opening. It's you want to go. And so he said, don't change anything. Keep being yourself, keep loving up on people, keep building relations, keep bringing value. And he wasn't giving me any new advice. He was just reflecting back to me what I already knew, but I needed to hear it. And so if you ever go to your coaches and tell them what's going on for you, thinking that they're going to give you guidance or advice to do something different, but instead they just tell you you're already doing it, you're doing a good job. That's why you need a coach. That's why you need a good, trusted circle of people to guide yourself back to yourself, to remember yourself. And so, that led me to realize something, that sometimes the greatest value that a coach or mentor or a mastermind group gives you is not direction. It's reminding you that you are doing it, that you are showing up every day, that you are putting yourself out there, that you are being visible, because we can forget when we're all alone in our chair at home on Zoom and running our business and being busy. We can forget. And so it's really valuable to be in high quality groups of people that support you and that are cheering you on. And I've found some lately, and Hounds of Business is one of them. So I'll put the link in my show notes so that you can click on and subscribe to his YouTube channel and find out more about Mike Ashabraner. So who in your life is reflecting the truth that you already know instead of trying to tell you to do something different? Who's doing that for you? And I had a second realization this week, and it goes back to my book. So my book has been over a 3-year project now. And it's one of these milestone flagship projects that tells my story, tells how I started creating my methodology, tells how I serve. It's got a lot of emotion in it and adventure and information that I downloaded when I wrote it. I wrote it by hand. I never even heard about ChatGPT when I received and downloaded this book. And now I've received the copy edits back. And I was working on it on Friday, and you can accept the changes, and I was accepting and clicking, but there was also comments in there. Tell me more. This is really good, but I want to know more about how you were feeling and set up the situation, set up the story so I can learn more about what was really going on for you. And as I went through a few of those comments, and I was able to flesh out more of the story and give it some more context, I had this drop in. I need an editor. For me to be a writer who tells really good stories, I need an editor to ask me to tell them more, because guess what? I know my story. I know my story so well that I forget to tell parts of it. I forget to tell how I was feeling. I forget to tell like the deep and dark secrets of it. And that's what the reader wants to know. So it's absolutely essential that I have an editor for this book and all my future books to help me flesh that story out more. Because before it ever got to the copy editing stage, I read my book probably 30 to 40 times. I edited it myself. I revised it myself. But I couldn't see anymore. Where to make the changes, because it was just me looking at it. And even getting beta readers to read it, I didn't get the same feedback that now the copy editors are giving, because some of those beta readers knew me a bit. So they already knew some of my story, and they're probably just filling in what they already knew about me. But I want it for readers who don't know me and they need more. They need to be able to know, like, and trust me. They need to be able to relate to the story. They need to be confronted or be triggered by the story, even, so that it moves them to take an action, to realize their power, to step into their journey more fully and take action for themselves, trust themselves more even, as they read my story of how I start trusting myself more in my book. And it's not always obvious to the writer what the reader needs. We need somebody else giving us feedback. Exactly the same with networking rooms or masterminding rooms and coaches and mentors that help you see your own blind spots. Not to change you, but to get more out of you, to help you be more in yourself, to be more you. Because that's one thing that Mike was really nailing on yesterday. You already are being you. Be more you. Show more of you. And finish this book, because this is, he said, if you don't finish this book, how many people are not getting the support they need or hearing the story that they need to hear to change something for themselves? And that totally landed. And that's why I'm going to work for the rest of the month to get these copy edits done, to flesh out more of my story so it can move to the next stage and be ready to start launching and be on the shelves, available to others. And so I'm asking you now, what part of your story have you been afraid to tell because it might feel too ordinary to you because you know your story, but it might be something that changes the life of another person? You can put that in the comments, or you can DM it to me. And if you don't want to share it with anybody else, I'll personally connect with you and reply and find out more. So here's my decision from sharing on the hotline yesterday, getting reflected back what I already know, which confirms that I already know that this is my most important project. And until this project's done, I can't start any more projects. And once this one's done, I need to focus on the next one instead of like creating something new to work on. So how many times have you started something new when you already have 5 things on your plate that are really important? So I encourage you, make a decision this week. What's the most important project that you have open right now that actually is going to be of great service beyond what you can imagine and make the impact that you've decided to start your business to make? It's not going to be something new that you need to start. It's already percolating. It's already being worked on by you. I'm going to finish those copy edits and get it to the next stage and make sure I'm going to keep networking and showing up to the rooms. That is super important too. And that's a everyday project in my business. But I'm not going to start anything new. I'm going to finish what I've got started already. And so if you trusted yourself completely right now to know what you've got to do next, what would you do? What would you do? And so I'd love for you to subscribe, like, or comment where you're listening to this, whatever stream it is, especially on YouTube. Please subscribe to this channel. Every week I go live Thursdays at 12:30 p.m. Pacific, 3:30 Eastern time. And I go live for about 20 minutes. And often I interview other people as well who bring valuable information, valuable guidance, valuable reflections, valuable conversations that you can relate to and that will, inspire you, get a fire lit under your butt to help you finish, help you complete, help you take that next action that's really going to support you in the impact you're here to make. And I would love for you to join my wait list for my book. I'll be sharing, how writing the book and the copy edits are going to go, the journey, behind the scenes updates, and inviting your feedback and letting you know when it's ready for release, because it's a pretty cool book with some cool stories. And it's called Finding the Source. And the source is inside you. So thanks for watching. I'm going to sign off now, and I'll see you next week.